Hi everyone, my name is Janine. Thank you for joining me here today and welcome to your practice. Today I just wanted to do a short, low to the ground, gentle yoga sequence that will hopefully feel really good in the body. And I wanted to base today's practice around self-compassion. So to begin with, just being compassionate to yourself for wherever you're at today, whether you're feeling really low energy and it was tough to get here, or maybe it's been a while since you've practiced, or maybe you're feeling super energized and ready to go, but no matter what it is, just show up for yourself and just be here and be open to whatever experience you're gonna have today. So to begin today's practice, I wanted to incorporate a statement, or I'd like to invite you to incorporate a statement for yourself that can help to remind you to practice self-compassion. So bringing in affirmations that you can repeat to yourself in times that are maybe challenging, or maybe you feel like you aren't giving yourself the time that you deserve. So I'll bring in a couple affirmations to begin our practice that if you feel you would like to repeat after me, then you're more than welcome to. Or maybe you can just let the words wash over you and listen. So let's begin by closing down the eyes and finding a comfortable seat, or perhaps lying down if that feels better for you to start your practice today. But wherever you are, just growing a little bit taller, allowing your spine to elongate, and just beginning to notice your breath. No need to change or fix, but just become aware. So the first affirmation will be, it's okay to be where you are, and that is plenty enough. Your second affirmation will be, all things set aside, I choose to be here right now. And the third affirmation is, you are exactly where you need to be. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, filling yourself up, and exhaling through the nose or the mouth. And feel free to use any of those affirmations at any point in time throughout this practice, or throughout the rest of your day or weeks to come. And we'll begin. So if you're seated, like I am, let's just go ahead and lie ourselves on the mat. And if you're lying down, then you can just stay as you are, but just slowly making your way down onto your back. And let's just plant the feet about hip distance apart. Maybe bringing our palms to our belly. From here, let's just take another deep breath in through the nose and feel the Feel our expansion on the inhale, expanding the belly. And exhaling, feeling ourselves deflate here, releasing. Just doing that a couple more times. Just taking notice of how your breath moves through the body. Maybe on your exhale, you feel yourself just relaxing a little bit more, melting into the mat. Now let's hug our knees into our chest from here and just begin to rock yourself side to side, just massaging into the lower back here. Feeling into the lumbar spine. Maybe tracing a bit of circles here now, getting into the hips, and going the other direction. And from here, let's begin to place our left sole of the foot to the mat, bending at the knee. And let's bring our right ankle over top of our left knee, coming into a figure 4 shape, reclined pigeon. And on your inhale, let's begin to thread our hands through the leg here, either hugging over top of the shin or perhaps just over top of the thigh. And just breathing here, actively feel yourself pushing your right knee away from you. And just begin to hug everything towards you. Taking a few rounds of breath here. Maybe if it feels good, you can just rock that out side to side. Maybe circling out the left ankle here too. Just beginning to get some mobility and stretch into the lower body. So maybe recognizing if you feel like you have a good relationship with self-compassion. Are you quite gentle with yourself? Or do you often be hard? Or are you often hard on yourself when things are difficult? You can release that. We're just going to keep crossing over our right leg here so that both of our legs are crossed. And we'll just hug that in towards the body here too. So we're coming into reclined Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. And maybe just hugging onto the knees here, and that's enough. But if you'd like to come into a deeper variation, you can grab onto the tops of the feet and just begin to pull them away from the body. Try to keep your shoulder blades relaxed onto the ground here. And just breathing deeply into the stretch. So we'll take about 3 rounds of breath here. Just feeling into sensation, feeling what you feel. Just being aware of where you're at today without any judgments. If you're holding on to your feet, you can release those slowly. And we'll just bring our soles of the feet back towards the mat. And keeping the cross in your legs here, so your right leg is still crossed over your left, we're just going to drop our hips and everything over to the left-hand side so the right sole of the foot finds the earth. And we're just kind of in this little crossed shape here, but we're just gonna get a little bit of a stretch into this outer area of the hip. So just a bit of a different sensation here. So feel free to push your right thigh away from you with your left hand. Maybe opening your right palm and your right arm over to your right side. And breathing here. Just slowing things down. Allowing yourself to be here for your practice. And let's inhale as we bring everything back up to center, uncrossing your leg this time. And we'll just bring our soles of our feet to the outer edges of the mat, and you can just begin to drop your legs or your knees over to one side, coming into a windshield wiper. Inhaling as you bring your knees back up to center, and exhaling as you drop them over to the other side. A couple times like this, inhaling up and exhaling as you drop them. Following your movement with your breath. All right, next time you come back to center, let's just get into the other side now. So crossing your left ankle over top of your right knee, pushing your knee and your thigh away from you, and we'll just thread our arms through that opening there, hanging on to the outside of the underneath of the thigh, or maybe over top of the shin here for a deeper sensation. And just beginning to breathe, beginning to feel out what's different on this side. Maybe inviting in a little bit of a rock side to side if that felt good for you. And again, noticing what's different here, being compassionate to yourself that you're not going to feel or be the same as you were yesterday, maybe even earlier today, last time you practiced. We're also just not symmetrical completely, so it's definitely okay to feel different from side to side. Couple more rounds of breath here. Relaxing your shoulders, letting your head feel heavy, resting against the mat. On your next exhale, releasing your right sole of the foot back towards the mat, crossing your left leg all the way over so your knees are lining up here, and just begin to hug your knees into the chest, coming back into that Gomukhasana pose. Or if it felt good for you, you can grab onto the tops of the feet and begin to pull your feet away from you. Maybe just feeling into sensation for how far away or how close you keep your feet. Just play, be curious here. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Taking 2 more full rounds of breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And releasing your hold of your feet if you have them. We're just going to rock everything over now to the right hand side, so your left sole of the foot finds the earth, and just pushing that thigh away from you with your right hand, getting into a bit of a opening on the outside of the glute and the hip here. And maybe your left arm stretches out alongside of you, gaze looks up, or maybe allowing your neck to fall over to face your extended arm. And breathing here, being gentle, being kind. And we'll release the stretch, bringing everything back up to center. Uncrossing your leg here, and we'll just get into that windshield wiper movement just a couple more times. So allowing your knees to fall over to one side, inhaling to center, and falling back over to the other side. Inhaling to center. And let's hug our knees into our chest one more time. This time let's lift up the head so we squeeze ourselves into a nice little tight ball. Squeezing here for 3, 2, 1, and release everything out. Bring your legs nice and long to the end of the mat. Let's lift our hands up towards the sky, or let's bring them up over to the top of the mat, that is. And we're gonna come into a big side body stretch here. So coming into banana asana. So this one feels really good in the body. It's also a fun one to say. So let's bring our feet and walk them all the way over to the right side of the mat, the outer edge. Now crossing your left leg over top of the right, and walk your hands all the way over to the outer edge of the right side of your mat, and grabbing onto that left wrist with your right hand for just kind of leverage and pulling yourself over. But don't roll all the way over onto your right side. Keep your left shoulder blade nice and glued down onto the mat. But you should feel a nice big long stretch, basically from your pinky finger all the way down through your armpit, along the side body, your hip, and into the ankle. But everybody feels things differently, so just feel into where you feel it. Taking a few rounds of breath here, letting yourself melt into the mat with every exhale. And you can inhale as you begin to bring yourself back to center, and walking your feet over to the outer edge of the left side of your mat, bringing your torso and your body, walking your hands over to the outer edge of the left side of your mat, crossing your right foot over your left, grabbing onto your right wrist this time. Opening up the right side body. Again, feeling your right shoulder blade glued into the mat. And just relaxing here as you breathe. One more full round of breath. And on your inhale, we can uncross, bringing ourselves back to center. Just stretching it out. Long, big stretch here, pushing your hands nice and far away from your feet. And release. And let's bend our knees one more time, hugging them into our chest, rocking it out, and we'll begin to rock and roll until we find ourselves up to a seated position. As many times as feels good for you there. Maybe just wiggling out the shoulder blades. I'll turn to face you, Let's just get into a little bit of a neck release here. So dipping your chin towards your chest, feeling that nice long length into the back of the neck. And we'll just bring ourselves into a little half moon, rocking your left ear to your left shoulder. Exhaling here, feeling that length on the right side of the neck. Inhaling, let's rock forward, chin to chest. And exhale, bringing your right ear to your right shoulder. Feeling that length now on the left side of the neck. And just slowly rocking from side to side like this. Maybe staying on your exhale. Couple times, following your breath with your movement. Being slow. So all things set aside. I will choose to be here now. Okay, next time you come to center, we'll roll our chin back up. Shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears, allowing them to fall back behind you. Just swaying side to side here, getting into a little bit more movement into the spine, into the side body. Before we close our practice, I'd like to share a quote with you by the Dalai Lama. And he says, "Compassion is the radicalism of our time." So allowing those words to sink in and thanking yourself for carving out this time, being gentle and slow, and bringing in some self-compassion. Bring our hands to heart center, humbling our head towards our heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this slow flow. I hope that it felt good to you. And yeah, at any point in time, if you're feeling like you need a little extra love and some reminders, then some positive affirmations can be really, really helpful. So I do encourage you to incorporate a statement that feels true and good to you, and you can use it at any point in the day. You can always come back to it. Sending love.